Hello, everyone. For those who don't know, my name is Ashley, and tomorrow, the 4th, will mark the 1 month, anniversary of my resignation from my previous employer. And so for those who have not been following, this is just a series of videos I'm making for myself to kind of be accountable to me, considering the journey that I'm on, and making sure I, stay accountable to myself. And then also, just hoping that as people watch my journey that, maybe there's something I can do or say to inspire you all, and, hopefully you get something out of it. And so yeah, it's been a month. It's been really nice to be home. Seriously, you work all day, then you go to, I work all day from 8:30 to 4:30. Then I would attend class from 6 to either 8 or 9. And so some days class was online via Zoom, but by the time you commute and then have dinner and then get on the computer and then have class, your day is practically over. Then there are nights where I would have to be in class in person, and again, you're away from 8:30 till 8 or 9 o'clock, and by the time you come home, you're just tired, you know what I mean? Or by the time you get home, you're just tired. And so it's been nice to just really enjoy my home. I rearranged my office. I'm starting to shred things and organize things, things I just haven't had the time to do. I'm able to participate in workshops, and like my church is having like a mini conference, and they've also asked me to lead one of the ministries. And so just being able to read and to train and to, just have time just to really enjoy my space and enjoy my office. You spend all this money, you want to enjoy it. And so it's been nice. It could be really easy for me to get spoiled though. And so I do have to be mindful of that I don't want to get so comfortable that I don't move, because you know what they say, a man who doesn't work doesn't eat, or a woman who doesn't work doesn't eat. And so, I got to make sure I have shelter over my head and, I can keep my bills paid. And so even though I'm okay for a couple of months, it'll be real easy to get caught up if you get too comfortable. Please don't mind this bruise on my arm. I had to go to the emergency room, and apparently I have a running vein here, and so she bruised me up kind of nice, but I'm not being abused. If you see that little spot right there, that's where the little needle went in. So I'm not getting hit. But just in case somebody was looking at that. But so just one of the things, one update is I finally received my cards from the place where I opened my business account. And so the reason I am up at 2:05 a.m. is because I was purchasing marketing materials and purchasing inventory. So I don't think I've really said anything, but I'm a home baker. That's all. There's a billion home bakers out there. So, it's not something, it's something special to me, but, not the, too special. But, it's a very inventory heavy job, because you have to have containers, to deliver your desserts in. You have to purchase ingredients and things like that. And so it's really easy for money to just go. I have to register or apply for a permit, which I was hoping to get to earlier today, but it was just some family stuff going on, and I really couldn't get much done until after class, which was over at 9. So I'm probably going to look into that when I wake up later today, maybe after I take my brother to the grocery store. But so just little things like that. So I'm moving, probably not as fast as I could. Like I said, I'm enjoying being home, but I'm going to do better and move forward with that. In terms of school is okay. It's definitely the calm before the storm. This is the first time since I've been in law school that I've had 3 major projects that are due at the end of the semester. And so I have to do some research for an evidence class, and for my federal criminal law simulation course, we're about to get the assignment. He said he's going to upload it over spring break. So got to start reading through that and taking notes and outlining. And then my wrongful convictions course is going to have a paper as well. So, and then the other clinic, my federal litigation clinic, we're about to prepare for oral arguments. And I may, because they're going to select one of my classmates, me or one of my classmates, to do oral arguments in front of the Third Circuit. So that's going to take a lot of practice too, especially since I don't have any experience with that at all. But they're going to train each and every one of us in this process. And then the professors are going to make a decision about who's going to actually do it. So it's going to be really interesting to see how this turns out, because before it was just a lot of exams, but now it's a lot of papers. And so that should be fun. But because I get to be home, it'll make it a little easier until I launch, But also too, I'm looking at clerkships. I didn't get the one that I interviewed for that I mentioned last week, which is okay. I know what the issue was. It was my fault. It's very imperative that when you're doing an interview that you research the company that you're interviewing for. And while I had looked them up and, went to the about section and pulled out some of that history and was able to articulate it to the gentleman doing my interview, when he asked if I saw myself doing that kind of work, you could really tell that I didn't fully grasp what it is that they did. And so because of that, I'm pretty sure that was the reason why I didn't get it. So, but it's okay. It's a learning experience. And I used to do like coaching and stuff for like career services. But the problem was I put it in my calendar, but for some reason I thought it was a Thursday and not a Tuesday. So it's like, oh yeah, I have an interview to prepare for in a couple of days. I'm like, oh crap, no, that interview is today. So it's like I had to jump up and start figuring all this stuff out. And so really did some last minute research. And so it shows, when you don't prepare for an interview, it definitely shows. So if you are about to interview for anything, just know that, prepare ahead of time. If it's in person, make sure you go out and visit the site, prior to the day. That way, where it is, where you can park, or if you're catching public transportation, where you're going to get off at, where you're going to walk, so do that prep stuff because it really does make a difference. Send cards afterwards or letters or emails just saying thank you for the opportunity. Make sure you're following up a week after. So got some free advice there. But that preparation is key. And so I fumbled on that one, and that's okay. That's my fault. So I take full responsibility for that because that's what adults do. So what else? I guess I have been going to the gym. Probably still need to work on my diet. Somebody gave me some seafood mac and cheese, and y'all, I've been eating off that pan. I haven't even had anything else to eat since Sunday. I've literally been eating off that macaroni and cheese. And so going to the gym is great, even though I missed it tonight because I was supposed to go around midnight, but because I was doing business stuff, by the time I finish, it's like I'm not going. Even though the gym is 24 hours, I'm about to go to bed. But I have been going to the gym, and that's been nice. Nice little something to do for myself. Just trying to really figure out self-care in this season. And then one of the things I've just been struggling with in general is just motivation, I guess. As a person with ADHD, one of our tendencies is like, on the one hand, it's like a superpower, right? We're very creative people. That's one of the reasons I like to bake, because baking is a type of art. I like to paint. I love to decorate. I'm just a creative person. And like we get really excited about big ideas. And at least I do. That's how my ADHD manifests. Just get really excited about a lot of ideas. But as it starts to get into like those smaller details that have the potential to overwhelm, what tends to happen is, one, we lose interest in it because it's no longer like a novel thing or a new thing. And two, because it tends to overwhelm us, we shut down. And so you start to, some people with ADHD will start to exhibit avoidant behaviors. And so I know that about myself, and I noticed that just over this past like 2 weeks, I'm waiting for my cards, but it's like there's other things that I could have been doing to be more proactive in this process, and I was just kind of something I had to get on my own case about today. And then also I noticed, and well, backtracking, one of the things I used to say to my students all the time is, motivation is not always going to be present. And maybe I said this before, I can't remember, because when I was talking about losing the weight, but that motivation is not always going to be present, right? But that some things come down to just making a decision, right? And so I have to make a decision, whether I feel like it or not, that I'm going to put the work in. And so while I'm financially doing decent right now, that money's not going to last if, you know what I mean, if I don't start adding back to it. And so, it can't be about my motivation. It needs to be about keeping a roof over my head, right? And making sure I can maintain my financial responsibilities. And even though I could skip a few meals or two, in general, you do have to keep food on your table. And so it's, I just have to make the decision to move forward. And another thing is too, just the confidence in general, because I have questioned myself a lot. Even though on the one hand, I really felt like it was the right decision and I did what I was supposed to do and I am where I need to be. On the other hand, a lot of those doubts and insecurities started to rear their ugly head. And so just really questioning myself and wondering if I did the right thing, even though I know I did the right thing. And, just wondering, or just like not having a confidence in myself to believe that this could be a lot bigger than I think that it can. And it's like when I worked at my former job, I met some people, and I mean owners of NFL teams. I have email addresses and contact information, and I have such a phenomenal network. And it's like, Ash, this could really work if you work it. But getting past that, who are you to deserve that? Who are you to do that? And so I know where that insecurity comes from, and that's something that I will continue to work on. I'm going to push through, but that's just something that I've been dealing with too lately. And so it was interesting though, and I'll end with this because this video is getting just a tad bit long. I keep a portfolio, like my business documents in it. And as I was just, I was putting something away when I opened this up, and I forgot about this. I guess it's a poem that someone had given to me at a business workshop quite a few years ago. And I hadn't really looked at it since. But in terms of like just how you think, my bishop always uses this statement. I don't know who the quote is from, but he says, "The man who thinks he can and the man who thinks he can't are both usually right?" So if you go into any situation thinking you're going to be defeated, well, you will be defeated, because all your actions are going to be determined based upon an attitude of defeat. But if you feel like you're going to be successful and win, even if you stumble and make mistakes, you engage that situation in a different way, because your mindset is, I'm going to be successful no matter what, And so it was almost like the reference I made to like finding your peace, right? If you want to make a decision, make sure you have peace, because even if you experience trials and tribulations, knowing that you did the right thing, you'll engage that process differently, and you'll keep going in spite of the situation. So that's just where I'm at, reminding myself of those things, that I am worthy of something more, that I do deserve a better life than what I have, that I do have skills in these fingers, and that could really change my life. And I need to just buckle down and do what I need to do to get there, and not allow fear and insecurities and just questions that, I technically don't need the answer to stop me from doing what I'm supposed to do. So I'll read this poem and I'll let you all go. So it says, "Attitude is Everything." That's the title. And it's by Napoleon Hill. And it reads, "If you think you are beaten, you are. If you think you dare not, you don't. If you'd like to win, but you think you can't, it's almost certain you won't. If you think you'll lose, you've lost. For out in the world, you'll find success begins with a fellow's will. It's all in the state of mind. If you think you are outclassed, you are. You've got to think high to rise. You've got to be sure of yourself before you can ever win a prize. Life's battles don't always go to the strongest or the fastest, but sooner or later, the one who wins is the one who thinks he can, or the one who thinks she can. So that's what I'll leave you all with. Stay encouraged, believe in yourself, think big, dream big, and just take the steps necessary to obtain a vision that you see concerning yourself and your purpose and what you were born to do. And with that, happy Women's Month to all my ladies making history and changing the world, and to all those who came before us to pave the way. We honor you for this month, and I just hope everyone has a good rest of your day. God bless. Bye-bye.